we last time we talked about what is a Lumos and what does it do. Okay, what's its function. So today we are going to study. We are going to talk about why does Lumos do it. What is the reason behind this, that Lumos wants to bring light in the life of children, and what is the reason that Lumos wants to finish this all, to eradicate institutionalization. Okay, institutionalization. Okay, it's very difficult to pronounce because it's very long, this word. Okay, institutionalization denies children individual love and care. It can damage their brain development and destroy their understanding of right and wrong. Of the 8 million children in institutions worldwide, more than 80% are not orphans. Most have families who love them and want them, but they are driven into institutions because of poverty and discrimination on the grounds of disability or ethnicity. This is a violation of their human rights and the effects last a lifetime. So, why does Lumos do it? Lumos does it in order to eradicate institutionalization. And what does this institutionalization? Sorry, I'm not able to pronounce it properly. Institutionalization. What does it do? It denies children. It doesn't give children what? Individual love. They don't take proper care of children individually. They don't see children individually. For example, if one children is suffering from physical disability, another children is suffering from mental disability, and another children is suffering from some other disability, what they do, they give, they don't, that is not actually care, that's so-called care. What they do, they don't give love individually, they don't see children individually. एक अलग से एक special care on children, they are not given special care. It can damage their brain development and destroy their understanding of right and wrong. And what will happen if the institutionalization denies these children from love and care? And what ultimately happens? This denial of love and care results in the damage in their brain development. They are not able to develop their brain. They are not able to differentiate between right and wrong. Okay, of the 8 million children in institutions worldwide, more than 80% are not orphans. So 8 million, among 8 million children that are in institutions worldwide, and in these 8 million children, almost more than 80% are not orphans. Means इनमें से 80% से ज़्यादा लोग जो है वो orphans नहीं हैं. They are not orphans. Orphans means one who is without parents. Okay, so what happens? So out of these 8 million children, more than 80% are not orphans. Means more than 80% are what? 20% are orphans, and more than 80%, what are they? They are, let's see what to which category they belong. Most have families who love them and want them, but they are driven into institutions because of poverty and discrimination on the grounds of disability or ethnicity. So why most of the families, those children which are in institutions, regardless of, they have their families love them and want them, they want them to live with them, they love them, but they are driven into institutions. Why? Because of poverty. They cannot afford the expenditure of their children. So what they do, these families send their children to institutions because of poverty, because they are poor and cannot afford this expenditure of their children and cannot afford to buy things for their children. So what they do, what these families do, they are, because of poverty, they are compelled to send their children to institutions. And why they are sent to institutions? Because of discrimination. Discrimination means भेदभाव करना. On the basis of what? On the basis of violation and on the basis of ethnicity and disability. First, children are disabled, they are physically disabled or mentally disabled, whatever. On these grounds, they are sent to institutions. If a children is mentally disabled, if a children is physically disabled, and their family cannot afford to give proper care to them, So what they do, does this family do? This family send their children to institutions, okay? And ethnicity, as I have already told you, what does ethnicity mean? It's the fact of belonging to a social group that has a common national or cultural tradition. कोई भी एक group that belongs to any special that has a common national और कल्चरल ट्रेडिशन, इनका कोई ट्रेडिशन होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल कश्मीर का एक ट्रेडिशन है, पैरन, कांगड़ी सब, और हमारा खाना पकाने का तरीका एंड ऑल, दैट्स कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट. एंड दिस एथनिसिटी मीन्स अ स्टेट ऑफ बिलोंगिंग. अब आपका वजूद, आप किस ट्रेडिशन, आप किस कल्चर से बिलोंग करते हो, तो उस हिसाब से भी क्या होता है, उस हिसाब से भी आपको ये यहाँ दीज चिल्ड्रन आर सेंट टू इंस्टीट्यूशंस. This is a violation of their human rights, and the effects last a lifetime. So what is this? What happens with this? We violate human rights by sending these children to institutions on the basis of disability, on the grounds of disability, and on the grounds of ethnicity. What does this? This becomes a violation for human rights, because what does a human right say? Human rights say that there is right to live, right to equality. Everyone is equal. Everyone is right to equality, right to live, okay? So, and this affects last a life. Its effects last a lifetime. So what does this have? What is the effect of this on the children? The effects last a lifetime. So throughout life, these effects remain with you. What is the effect? The mental ability of the children becomes deteriorated. It becomes less. The problem. What is the problem? What is the problem with the institutionalization? Drivers of these institutionalization means drivers means one who run this institution, okay? Despite most having families who love them, 8 million children worldwide live in institutions because they are poor, disabled, or form an ethnic minority. A small percentage are in institutions due to behavioral problems or due to being abused or neglected. This is a violation of their rights. So what does drivers of institutionalization do? Those who run these institutions, what does they do? Despite most having families who love them, so 8 million children, so their families love them, but why they are kept in institutions, as I have already told you, because they are poor, disabled, or from an ethnic minority, okay? A small percentage are in institutions. Why? Due to behavioral problems. Large percentage of children are in institutions because they are poor and disabled, or from an ethnic minority. And small percentage is in institutions because they are suffering from behavioral problems, or they have mental disability, or due to being abused or neglected, or they are being abused, they are not being respected, they are beaten up, or they are neglected, they are not taken proper care, okay? This is a violation of their rights. So इनके हक की खिलाफ वर्जी की जाती है. This is a violation of their rights, okay? So I think we should stop here. We will discuss more about this. We will talk about this more tomorrow. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.